Hello and welcome to Mastering Power BI video series. This is video number 2. Before we jump into the data and modeling and visualizations and sharing, it is very important to understand the interface of Power BI desktop and the integrated element which is Power Query Editor interface as well. So in this video, we are going to focus on how to install the Power BI desktop and getting used to the interface of Power BI desktop and the Power Query Editor. Without much ado, let's get into the video and let's start exploring. All right, so everything starts from here because let's say that you do not have the Power BI desktop in your computer. So how do you start? So you need to go to the Google, and in the Google search, we are just going to type Power BI. So once you type Power BI and search for it, the first link itself, which says Power BI data visualization, if you just open it up, and this is the screen you will be looking at right now. Before you go ahead and start downloading the Power BI desktop and installing it, first you need to get some basic idea. What are the services offered to you in Power BI from the Microsoft side? So after you click on the link, and once you are seeing this particular screen, you need to go to the link which says pricing. So I'm going to open this in a new tab so that I don't disturb each of the screens. So the first screen, we typed Power BI and we clicked on the first link, and in this screen we clicked on the pricing link, and this is the pricing link. So if you watch here, the options given for you in Power BI is one is free, which is where you can actually connect to data sources, you can do the data modeling, you can do calculations, you can do visualizations. Everything is absolutely same even if you go for the paid version. But how the paid version differs is the only thing we cannot do is sharing the end result, the Power BI report. In case if you want to share it to your colleagues, then you need to go for the Power BI Pro. The rest of the two is something specifically needed for certain usage context. I'm not getting into that part right now, but as an individual, if you are going for the free account, you're perfectly okay. You can do everything whatever we're going to cover in this video series. But at the final phase of this video series, we will talk about the sharing and collaboration side, which is Power BI service. During that phase, we might require this in order to work out and see how this is going to do it for you at your end. But right now it's too early. So because you have hell a lot of things to learn before you jump for the Power BI Pro. All right, so let's go ahead and see how do you download the Power BI desktop and install. So I'm going back to that the first link which we clicked and came to the screen. Here, if you watch closely under the products, if you click, and you can see there is something called Power BI. In the Power BI, I'm going to go for desktop. So this also I'm opening in a new tab so that you can see that one. So all you got to do right now is just click this download now and complete the rest of the step, just like you install the remaining applications in your computer. I'm not going to go through each step clicking next and finish, but it's quite simple like you do for the other software. Just go ahead and do it. Nothing is rocket science here, and that's all you have to do to get the Power BI desktop at your end. Once you get the Power BI desktop, so how that screen would look like. So let's open the Power BI desktop right now. So I'm going to click, and your Power BI desktop opens up something like this at the start screen, and it takes you to this screen where you might see something on the top right corner, sign in. So you need to click on it and you have to sign in, provided if you have an organizational email ID, because your Hotmail or Outlook or Gmails or Rediff mails, nothing works out here. No public server emails, only organizational emails are allowed. So if you have one of the organizational email account with you, then you can sign in with that. But remember, that is not going to give you the option of getting access to the pro, but still if you have an organizational account, you might get a free trial period to try the pro account. All right, so once you get into the Power BI screens, the initial screen is going to show you something like this. It's going to show you at the bottom the couple of projects which you're working on currently, and the rest of things are quite normal like the other applications. If you want to open specific, you can click on here, but I'm going to start from the blank report. So when you click, you will be directed to this particular screen. Now you are inside the Power BI desktop screen, and let's go through this quickly one by one. So when you click the file menu, it's going to take you back to that home screen initially what you saw, but with additional options like import, export, in case if you want to take it from another Power BI report or Power BI template, or you want to export the current one as a Power BI template, you can do it. But you can see there's also an option called publish, which is also allowed for sharing and collaboration. But even if you do not have the pro account, you can still share your Power BI reports in many other formats, which we will be talking very shortly. So don't worry if you do not have a pro account, I cannot do anything. No, you can still, but the options are limited. We'll talk about that. So that's your file menu. So I'm going to press the escape to come back to the main screen. In the home tab of your Power BI desktop, to put it in a very simplest way, everything is inside the home tab. So in the home tab, if you could see the first block where it says data, which is basically meant for connecting to the data source. And the next group is queries. Remember, I told you that once you connect to the data source, if your data has any problems, to launch the Power Query editor, this is where you have to come in. And once you click transform data, and when you click transform data, that's going to launch your Power Query editor. Okay. The next section is basically the visualization section, but you do have a dedicated tab for visualization side, but this is something given additionally inside. Now, this part is perfect for calculations. Remember, we were talking about in the intro video, calculating the metrics of your business or the key values of your business for visualizations. So here's a place you'll be working on it. Yeah. And the rest, the one which you have to worry about is the publishing part. Once your report is ready in all the way, you have to go for here to publish it. And you do have your Copilot here to go for using for any particular help. Now let's go to the next tab, insert tab. Like I said, this is the one specifically meant for the visualization, and everything is given to you here. And you do have AI visuals as well, and you can access the members of the Power Platform ecosystems like the Power Apps and Power Automate. And the remaining things is just to make your Power BI report much more fancy and good looking. So using the image, buttons, and all those things you can do over here, which we'll be seeing it very shortly in the coming up videos. Well, the next tab is modeling, which is purely modeling means connecting the data sets through the relationships. So everything related to that particular phase of work, you have all the tools for you to help you out here. View is basically to customize the view of the application which you are working right now. So you can customize in terms of color by adjusting the themes. And in case if you want to check how your report would look like in the mobile layout, you can also click this button and work on to fit to that mobile layout or customize to the mobile layout. So you get so many things inside. We are going to explore that very shortly. And these are nothing but the panes which you want to activate and keep it on the right side while you're working on the data sets. So I want to connect to the data set. In the next video, I want to show you how these guys comes into life when you're going to use the data. All right, so the optimize is basically to improvise the performance of your report. Help is the standard menu, and external tools is something which you will be seeing it provided if you have installed any specific add-ins related to the Power BI usage. So you could see that I have introduced or installed certain things for my specific work like DAX Studio to make your DAX writing much comfortably, and Tableau Editor is something related to the same side. Okay, so that's about your Power BI desktop, but Power BI desktop also has the Power Query editor inside. Yeah, so to access the Power Query editor, I'm going to go to the home tab under the queries I'm going to go to the transform data, and that's going to launch the Power Query editor. So the Power Query editor, again, we do have the file menu, which is basically to do the normal operations in the query, but we would not be doing anything over here while you're working in the Power Query editor through the Power BI desktop. All right, so let's talk about the home tab, which is basically for doing general transformations over here. You can even connect to the data source from the Power Query editor. It's not necessary that you should always connect to the data source through the Power BI desktop. You can also connect to the data source in the Power Query editor using this side, the new source. Okay, so that is also 100% acceptable, because once you do all the transformations, you can always close and apply, and that data is going to get loaded to the Power BI desktop. Suppose if you're accessing the Power Query editor from the Excel, you will see close and load to, which takes you to the Excel screen, gives you multiple options. But in Power BI desktop, you will not see close and load to, you will see close and apply. Okay. All right, if you could see here, you got the things related to the data connections. Now here on the right side is all generic transformation. When I use the word transformation, we are talking about data cleaning. If you're completely new to Power Query Editor, in the description, I will share the link for the Power Query video series, where right from video, the initial videos will help you to understand the interface much better. So I would recommend you to watch it, so this becomes a little easier for you. Okay. All right, so the next one, transform, again a dedicated tab for the transformations, more specific transformations. When I say whether your transformation data cleaning is specific to text data types, number data types, data column, so all those are here. And are you going to create any columns apart from the columns available in the data sources which you connected? If you want to do so, you will be working on the add column side. View is related to the customization of how you are looking at the query which you're connected to. When I use the word query, the data set which you're connected to. Tools and help is very occasional usages in Power Query Editor side. So we don't do that much unless otherwise there's a specific requirement. So that's all about your Power Query Editor and your Power BI desktop. So when I say close and apply, it's going to take me back to the Power BI desktop. But since we do not have any kind of data sets, it's going to show us something very blank like this. So quickly to talk about, this is a generic tool of your Power BI desktop and the Power Query Editor. So in the next video, we'll connect to a data set and we'll create some visualizations to start with. So until then, take care of yourself. Signing off, Hariharan.